What is going on, chat, man? Today we are watching, what are we watching? NBA Legends talking about the first time they faced Larry Bird. Why are we watching a Larry Bird video, bro? I wanted to do some basketball content on this page. I'm delivering that to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really alive during Larry Bird's, time he played and whatnot. So this is all going to be kind of new to me still. And I just kind of, I was just going to say, let's get right into it, you know what I'm saying?
He was the most motivated player I ever saw.
One leg shot.
He was one of the biggest trash talkers ever.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Every NBA great has their Larry Bird story, and somehow they all sound like tall tales, except they're true.
He would do a head fake, or he would
Oh yeah, no, I'd be mad if
do
someone did
this,
that. I'm
and the
not
guy
gonna
would
watch
turn,
that.
and he would just fake the crap out of
Oh,
Facing Larry Bird for the first time was like
What's up
being
with this
handed a
picture?
crash course in humility.
what's up with that picture? What's the history behind that other picture? Huh.
Before you could process what was happening,
Oh,
Larry
that's
had
crazy.
already told you how he was
just
going to
did-
score, done it, and then made you feel bad about it.
He hit it and looked at me. He was like, "Damn, I didn't mean to leave nothing on the clock."
I didn't know people
This
was
was
like
Larry's
low-key
world,
like
and if you weren't ready,
good like
well,
this in the 80s. I'm
he'd
not
make
gonna
sure you
lie.
knew it. Let's dive into the wildest stories NBA legends have about their first time
He just
facing the
dropped
man,
it.
the myth, Larry Bird.
Man, the
Starting
man.
us off is Byron Scott. His introduction to Larry Bird was like stepping into a basketball masterclass on psychological warfare. His
Fade away.
story is one of those moments that sounds like a myth, but is 100% real.
So we playing him in the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, "You guys don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna go right over there that corner." He said, "They're gonna set a screen for me. We're taking the ball out." He said, "I'm gonna curl right over," and he's telling us
He told him the whole play. There's no way.
to play. He's telling us to play before they even take it out. He said, "I'm gonna go right over to that corner and I'm gonna catch it, I'm gonna shoot it, and I'm gonna tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be." They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or
DJ?
the late great DJ.
Yeah.
Take the ball out, the man curl right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three.
And made
Game
it.
over.
That's crazy.
Are you effing kidding me?
I'd be mad,
Larry
bro.
Bird story.
That's the thing about Larry. He didn't just beat you, he made
He
sure
already had
you
his
knew
vision
he
before
was
he
going
even
to
hopped
beat
on the
you
court.
before he did it. Then there's Dominic Wilkins, who learned very quickly that Larry Bird wasn't about to give you a warm welcome to the league.
It was shocking, and I'm a rookie, and I go up against, we small forwards because guys guarded each other back in there. You couldn't duck each other. And so I go shake his hand, and he put both hands behind his back. And I'm saying, okay, he's getting his head ready to play. And first play of the game, he says, "I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes." And he shoots a three. I was pissed. I said, I wasn't mad he hit the three, but this some bitch just called me Holmes. And so it set up for a really interesting game. Because I remember one time I came down and I dunked it on him. He laying on the ground, he fouled me, and I'm pointing.
Oh. He did that on him?
Ground, he fouled me, and I'm pointing.
Drop that ball on the ground.
And he said, "Hey, Rook." I said, "What?" He said, "What?" He said, "I like you. You got, he said, you got
respect
balls,
from
but
him.
I'm still going to get 30 on your ass."
30 points?
He got about 38, but I had to pay my dues. I wasn't upset about
And he dropped him, chat. He dropped him.
that because, back then, as a rookie, you got to pay your dues.
Anyone watching this video actually seen this live? There's no way. There's no way. Like, seeing this live is like a...
Simple as that.
For Wilkins, it was about paying his dues, because back then, going up against Larry Bird was a rite of passage. Even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the ultimate Lakers competitor and a fierce rival of the Celtics, couldn't help but tip his cap to Larry Bird. Kareem remembered a game during Bird's first championship season that left such an impression, the sportscaster closed the broadcast by playing the Superman theme.
I remember the
Crazy vision right
game
there.
he played against the Lakers the first year that the Celtics won the World Championship with him on the team. And
he was ridiculous. He came on here. I remember our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game, because he did everything:
Right.
points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry has such a great mind for the game, and a great touch. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
That's Kareem,
Wow.
one of the
People talk about him like that.
greatest to ever do
Pretty
it,
like
giving
honorary
Larry his
and whatnot,
flowers.
you know what I'm saying?
And if Kareem's story shows respect, Shawn Kemp's is all about survival, because Larry didn't just compete, he hunted. Kemp was still fresh in the league when he got his first taste of Larry Bird's genius. Spoiler alert, it wasn't pretty.
Who's the first person to bust your ass?
Man, I'm gonna keep this real with y'all, man. My ass got busted real early, man. I came into the league, man. I was 19. You know how some of them vets, man, they play you to the T, man. I got played down in Boston one night. We was playing Boston Celtics. So the great Larry Bird. I didn't really know much about it. You know, I'm from Indiana. Larry's from Indiana. I knew about the history of Larry, but I didn't realize how he really got down.
I didn't know he was from
When we
India.
when we got to Boston that morning, I knew something wasn't right. I saw an X-Man. He was limping around the court a little bit like he was sore. I figured he'd be all right, you know.
Xavier McDaniel.
I figured he'd be all right by that time. I go to the game on the early bus. I get there. They come out on the court. They say, "Hey, Shawn, you starting tonight against Larry."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Well, damn."
How does someone?
I'm all for it, though.
How does someone feel about that? Getting told that.
The X-Man, he didn't play. He had a sore knee. But my point to you is this: Larry gave me 50 and 3/4.
Oh my!
There's the white flag right now. Bird on the 20-year-old Kemp takes a fall away. Oh, he's got 40.
He was hitting everything.
Man, and he talked to me the whole entire game.
What did he say?
Well, first of all, he asked me to jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Yeah, you're the one that used to dunk my brother too, right? Now, Eddie." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "I got you tonight." So every shot he was calling, at the defensive end, he would tell me, he'd be like, "When I get down to the other end, I'm going to pump face you, get a hand one on you, look at you, go off the glass." That's how cold Larry Bird was.
Patrick Ewing, on the other hand, grew up hearing about Larry Bird's supposed limitations. People in Boston would talk about how Larry couldn't jump and how he wasn't the most athletic player on the court.
How he couldn't jump? Did we not just see all those dunk clips? And he's like what, 6'9", 6'10"?
But once Ewing actually faced him, he realized those rumors were a joke.
Manages to come up with it. Bird, little up fake. Basket will count for foul. What a shot. Just took
that was a call.
right
It wasn't
out of the play, made him back up to where the...
Ewing shared his
I
epitome on the
respect
Dan
that.
Patrick Show, laughing as he recalled his reaction to seeing Bird in action for the first time.
You know, I remember, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, a lot of my friends was like that, So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great.
Dang, bro.
He can, whatever you were
He was
saying.
just put back after.
He
Was just put back after put back, bro. Getting on the ground for the ball, the hustle.
He'll
Everyone's
demolishing.
Everyone's talking about how they all messed him, like how he messed them all up, bro. Like, it's
everybody.
So your guys are saying, how can you let this guy?
It's a level of respect that they're giving this guy.
Hey.
Oh, he's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
Bird was rewriting the rules. Ewing's call home was a warning to the rest of the league. Larry.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like most of us, like younger hoopers, can do like a little backhand lay. You know what I'm saying? But his fadeaways and his tricking the players and all of that.
Bird was the real deal.
You don't see that often in modern game anymore, in my opinion. Like, you'll see a quick, fake pass, but not a... You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all, so different.
For John Sally, his firsthand encounter with Larry Bird is the kind of story that makes you laugh and cringe at the same time. Imagine being a 6'11" forward, thinking you've got this, only for Larry to stroll up and remind you just how wrong you are.
He would be like, man, too bad we didn't get you, Sal. I said, yeah, here goes. You know, double me tonight when I get the ball in the wing. I said,
always
man,
talking, bro.
He goes, y'all ain't double teaming me?
Like, what's wrong with y'all ain't double teaming me? You know how much confidence that takes to say on an NBA court? Be like, I want to get double teamed, bro.
Nah, I got you, dog. You don't like height. He goes, mouse in the house.
And you 6'11".
And they lifted. He walked me down to the post, got the ball. He said, you better ask for a double team, Sal.
Just talking while he was on the court. Bro, me and Larry Bird are alike, bro.
The whole time.
And he would move at his speed. I don't care how fast you think you are.
Right.
Larry Legend didn't care how tall or how fast you thought you were. He played at his pace, with his moves, and always ended up with the upper hand.
That was a nice shot. That was a clean shot.
Brian Shaw had heard all the talk about Larry Bird before joining the Celtics. He's just a white guy who can't jump, not athletic, not that good. And just like many before him, Shaw assumed Larry's dominance was exaggerated until, of course, he saw it firsthand.
I was like, man, they letting this white boy who can't jump, who's not athletic, kill them like that. He ain't that damn good until I got there.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the first practices.
People were doubting on him, bro.
He told me and Reggie Lewis, he said, I want to play you guys 1-on-2. up to 7, right? And so, like
1-on-2, up to 7.
Come on, man. He was like, the only catch is I get the ball first. So me and Reggie look at each other, we like, yeah, all right, man, whatever. So the next thing you know, it's 6-0.
Yeah.
Right? We ain't even touched the
Yo, you actually did that?
ball yet. He hits his first 6 shots.
Yeah.
So when it got to be 6-0 and we go into 7, we like, because it would be like one of us would guard him and another one would be ready to try to get the rebound.
Yeah.
So we was like, fuck that. We double teamed him. He finally missed. We got the ball. And then we just kind of played keep away from him. We end up coming back and winning 7-6. So then I was like, and that was one of my early experiences with him. I was like, okay, all right, he got a little bit more than what I thought he had.
That's so crazy, bro. He was up 6-0. He did get dropped off at 7, but 6-7. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he had the confidence to 2v1 these bros.
Then when we started playing, he was cooking everybody, but talking shit and telling them about it.
And if there's one thing Larry Bird couldn't stand, it was being disrespected. Especially when it came to who was guarding him.
I had no idea he got in a fight on the court.
Isaiah Thomas learned this the hard way and shared the hilarious story on the All the Smoke podcast.
Now, our back line at one time it was Kelly Tripucka, Bill Laimbeer, Kim Benson. 3 white dudes.
2 of them I ain't ever heard of.
Okay. All right. So we walk out on the court and he said, who guarding me? And I said, well, hey, you know, we both from
who guarded me?
Indiana. We talking stuff. Me and his mom had a close relationship in college. His mom would write me like...
I'm gonna start talking like this, bro. Like when I pull up to runs, I have to start talking to him. Who's guarding me? Come on, who's guarding me?
Notes. Was even writing me notes like when I was in the pros. Like, you know, good luck, everything else, right? So Larry used to always call me Cheesy, right? He's like, Cheesy, who guarded me? And I was like, you know, I got Kelly, I got Lamb, I got Benson. He's like, you ain't got no brothers? like you
just wanted max competition at all times.
He's like, you
disrespecting me.
That's what he said.
Straight up.
That's exactly what he said. He said, hey man, you can't put no white dude on me.
Hey,
that is straight.
Honestly, here's what I'm gonna say. If an NBA player did this today, they're clip farming. You realize that, right? If they say on the sideline, hey, who the 2 people guarded me? He's clip farming because he wants to literally get 2 people on him and make a shot, right? He's literally just clip farming.
disrespect, right?
But in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? So it's like different.
Put no white dude on me.
Reggie Miller also found himself on the wrong side of Larry Bird's sharp tongue during a tense late-game moment. In his book, I Love Being the Enemy, Reggie tells the story of how, as a rookie, he thought he could rattle Larry at the free throw line. Big mistake. Reggie, trying to disrupt Larry's focus, starts talking trash. But Bird doesn't just ignore him. He locked eyes with Reggie and delivered a cold, calculated response. Rook, I am the best shooter in the league. In the league, understand? And you're up here trying to tell me something? And with that, Larry sank the first free throw like it was a layup in practice. Still staring Reggie down, he stepped back up, drained the second shot, and walked away without a word. But for Nolan Richardson, his introduction to Larry didn't come from a highlight reel or a big NBA moment.
Going back.
Nice law.
I'll never forget driving, and I'm listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the streets from El Paso, and I went to UTEP. And we're big rivalries, so I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird? Bird. You know, here's Bird. And Bird this.
And he's just aura farming in the crowd, bro.
And Bird, oh, did you see the pass that?
And Magic Johnson's right behind him.
Bird made. I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. And when the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play.
He didn't even need to watch him to know he was doing crazy. You literally didn't even have to watch him. You heard him on the news or on the radio. That's crazy.
Hey, let me tell you something. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn.
Wow.
Even in his early days, Larry carried an aura of inevitability.
An aura.
As if success was his destiny and everyone else was just there to watch it unfold. Richardson's words capture something deeper about Bird. He was a force that shaped the sport in ways people couldn't always articulate. You didn't just see or hear Larry Bird play, you felt it. And if anyone knows a thing or two about trash talk, it's Gary Payton. But even the glove himself had to bow down to Larry Bird's legendary gift of gab. Payton doesn't hand out compliments easily, but when it comes to trash talkers, Bird was at the top.
Chuck Person talked a lot of gangster shit. Bird used to tell me, look here, man, I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that corner. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit. He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these...
You saying stuff like that? On a court?
Greats. They'll be all...
Even on the sidelines. Maybe in a locker room, but like, bro.
Mentioning him, he was the shit.
Person stuffed him and had something to say afterwards.
He
took that. Said, come on. He said, come on. Come on. Come on, that's mine. Come on, it's mine.
Any way he wanted to. Larry Bird was cold. Cold dude, man. Real cold.
Person didn't dare look at him.
Chuck works for me in the summer. He mows my yard. So I see him every day.
And of course, Bird did exactly that. The man wasn't just running his mouth, he was writing the script and making sure you stuck to it.
Time out.
Terrell Brandon also...
People were calling time outs as he was defending them? Did this really, like... I've never caught a timeout because a bro's guarding me and I'm scared of him. What? What is that?
Had his fair share of run-ins with Larry Legend.
But hey, for him, says it in the title of the video.
And he didn't hold back in describing the experience. For Brandon, it wasn't just about Bird's physical dominance. His mental warfare was equally devastating.
How can a person jump this high?
and out-rebound you? How can a person just move you that way and make you a deficiency?
Right.
How can a person jump and just,
he can't even analyze it himself. He literally can't analyze it. He's trying to, he can't.
When we
this dude's genuinely a legend, bro.
practice, he would be running around Boston Garden while we was practicing.
That was psychological.
And we was watching him running around in the Boston Garden. And it was like, why are you running?
Brandon recalls one game against the Cleveland Cavaliers that still gives him chills.
the
Bird was on fire, hitting shots so precisely, it was almost unfair.
LeBron's not on the Cavs yet, though. LeBron's not on the Cavs.
Bird behind the back.
It was 91-92 season, and we was playing the Boston Celtics. It was Bird, McHale, Parrish, the great three, Ainge, and we was up 1. Okay. He said, "Who's guarding me?" As we come out of timeout. Now remember, I'm a rookie.
He's always saying that. That's his go-to line. I have to start saying it then, right? Any of y'all say this when y'all hoop? I've never heard someone tell me this when they hoop.
The price is out because he hurt.
That would probably scare me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. He says, "Who's guarding me?" I says, "Craig Elo." He said, "Why you got that white boy on me?"
Yo, self-explanatory, bro. Why you got him on me, bro?
Don't put no white boy on me.
He said that was the most.
Now remember, Larry Bird is white. Right. He said, "I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna get in the corner. Dennis Johnson gonna pass it to me, and I'm gonna hit the last second shot."
And he told them the play he was finna do and cooked them. Doing that exact play. He told the defense the answer, yet they didn't listen.
It's over.
Come on, man.
So I'm like, I told Joe Wood, I said, "Hey man, listen, the ball is going to Larry Bird. Everybody knows the ball's going to Larry Bird. Right. Just do whatever you can. Craig, Gerald, just cover him."
Right.
All Bird did was go like this. See, it's leverage. It's not how strong you are sometimes. It's leverage.
Yeah.
He said,
leverage.
Now look how hard that
That's the word of the day. Leverage.
is. Yeah. Now somebody strong will go, "Yeah." Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You see how your demeanor went? That's all I need, TB.
Right. No space against the ball. Yeah.
And you know his fingers was all broke.
Right.
He hit the shot. All his Kevin McHale, all them, Randy Whitman, all them were jumping on, right? He was getting them off of him like this. He walked off and said, "Legend."
And then there's the time college
legend
star Rodney Rogers thought it'd be a good idea to trash talk Bird. Big mistake. As Jamal Mashburn recalls, Bird didn't just respond, he turned it into an event.
When we got an invitation, it was 8 of us. It was myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Shout out
Eddie
Rodney
Martin.
Rogers, man. Shout out to OG.
And Grant Hill was.
We both know these guys
on
know
that
what they're
squad.
talking about.
So we get to
bro.
La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott. We go up to our floor, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall, and I'm like, damn, that looked like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up close to Larry Bird.
Exactly. That's a good man.
Larry Bird, legit 6'10".
Nah, real talk.
6'10", bro. That's tall.
When I first stood up against him when he was coaching the pace, I was like, damn.
I'm like 6'3". 6'10"? I'm looking up, bro.
So he walked by us and he says, "Y'all those college guys?" And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, "Get some fucking rest. It's gonna be a long week," and walked off.
Oh, yo! Get some rest. It's gonna be a long, bro. Get some rest.
And we was like, what the hell?
Yeah, what y'all got us into?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. You know, we like, all right, what's going on here?
I wanted to say what's up, and he just came to be like this, like, dang.
Yeah. So the
You go
next morning,
you go straight into it, just talking trash. Bro.
we get up and we go to practice, and Roy Williams is our coach, but we only got 8. So we like, well, how are we practicing, and what are we practicing for? So we spent, I want to say, an hour doing the 3-man weave, and I'm like, what's going on here? Then they bus us to another location where the dream team is practicing, and these about 400 people standing outside waiting for the dream team to come out. They take us up to a top floor, and the dream team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, all right, get loose and stretch out. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're gonna play next. So we get out the gates, like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. we running them all out, Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton. So they stopped the game and turned off the score. I think we were up like 72-66 or something, 64, something like that. They just stopped the game. So we like, all right, was this halftime or some shit? They like, nah, the press coming in. So I'm like, oh,
what?
Wow. So that's when the thing came out that Chuck Daly let us win. Because they didn't want to hold a complete game because they knew it was going to be downhill from there. Because we were trying to prove that we could represent the country. Yeah. So we lit their ass up, and then something happened. We're sitting there, and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something to, it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since 84.
Cooking it.
Magic heard that shit.
Since 84, by the way.
And we ain't think nothing of it. The next day we came in, and I never seen this. And this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left.
I don't know any other NBA player that does that, bro. I don't know any other NBA player
off glass. One dribble going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench. He had to lay down because of his back. And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made it.
Rogers probably regretted that comment immediately.
Dang.
With all these legendary accounts, one thing becomes crystal clear. Larry Bird wasn't just respected, he was revered. As Brazilian legend Oscar Schmidt put it,
it's too easy to have Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant as an idol. The guy flies around and do whatever he wants. It's too easy. My guy doesn't run, doesn't jump, and play the best of everybody else. He's here.
Wow. Dude's really grandpa now, bro.
This is my idol, the best player ever, in my opinion.
The best player ever?
Bird's legacy is built on moments like these. Iconic, unrepeatable, and absolutely legendary.
Yeah.
And if you want to dive deeper into more incredible Larry Bird stories, hit play on this next video.
Man, I'll tell you what. Larry Bird scared his opponents, man. He would talk to them crazy, tell them everything he was going to do, would do it, and make the shot. Bro, I don't know any other NBA player that does that. So unique. I have such a favorite. I love Like, I'm so glad I watched this video, you know what I'm saying? But this is the end of the video. So please leave a comment down below what your thoughts was on this. Give me suggestions. What other kind of players you want me to see? What kind of content you want me to see about them? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying. Have a good rest of your day.